morning and happy Friday. Welcome to today's Qigong class. I am Ashima Serene, and let's get started with the basics. So our basics is Wuji posture. That is our standing posture. So your legs are hip width apart, slightly bent, soft knees, arms hanging by your side, but not too close. So just relax them. And my tailbone's tucked in and my tummy is tucked in. And if you saw that, I straightened up because I'm being pulled up and I'm imagining as if there's a golden cord of light pulling me up. So you straighten up and now let's take deep breaths. So Qigong breath is also called belly breath. So we inhale through our nose deep into our belly, hold there, and let go from our mouth. And so what we're doing is we're starting with what is called 3 intentful corrections. And the first one is aligning the body. We straighten the body, we aligned the meridians, the lower, the middle, and the upper. And we're now breathing deep. And as we're breathing deep, we're quieting our mind because we're bringing attention to our breath. Again, inhale into your belly and let go. And I exhale from the mouth to release any stress I may be holding. And from here, we're going to go into pulling down heaven. And pulling down heaven is the starting form before any protocol that we practice. So inhale, inhaling deep into your belly, and good morning and welcome. Hello. We're just starting with our first exercise, pulling down heaven, inhaling. And bring them above our head. And now with the exhale, bringing them down. And notice the slow, purposeful movement of the arms. As if you're pushing down against the current. Qigong requires you to slow down, which is the biggest gift we can give ourselves. So now inhale into your belly. Slowly moving our arms up as if there's a gust of wind coming down, we're pushing against it. And as we're doing this, imagine we're pulling up earth energy. And now with the exhale, brushing down anything that may no longer be serving us. Clearing, cleansing, letting go of the old and making room for the new. And one last time we do. Pulling down heaven 3 times. So this is the 3rd time. So now inhale. And let's add more visual imagery. Let's imagine there are magnets in the palm of our hands. And as we pull up, we're pulling up this wonderful earth energy into our field. And now we're rushing down environmental energy. So what we also call in Qigong, heavenly energy. Now let's practice some warm-ups to release any tension we may be holding. So shoulder rolls, moving them from back to front and front to back. And as often as possible during the day, just bring attention to your shoulders and like raise them up and bring them down. It's called shoulder away from ears. So now raise your right arm and brush off your left arm. So there's a light, this is interesting ray of light coming. So try to escape it, but maybe I shouldn't. Now brush it off as if you're brushing any tension. And as you're doing that, bring your right ear close to your right shoulder. So leaning away, brushing off. It's a great stretch for the neck, but also releases any tension. The other side. Bringing our left ear to the left shoulder, raising our right arm, and brushing off. And you know, if you start with the left or right, it doesn't matter. And now let's do some arm rolls. So we're going to make a circle. First, let's make soft fists and make a circle. This is a great exercise for the sides of our bodies. Again, deep belly breath. And one more clockwise. And now let's do this counterclockwise. We can do these exercises while we're sitting down. If your video is off and you're working, just do some shoulder rolls, some arm rolls. So we make clockwise and counterclockwise circles on both sides. And you hear some sounds that may be surprising, and that's okay. If it hurts, of course, you don't want to do it. You want to discontinue. All right. And now let's do a stretch where we look over our shoulders. So inhale into your belly, open up your arms so I can see your palms and look over your right shoulder. And this exercise, which we're using as a stretch, is called Wise Owl Turns from Side to Side. Great exercise for your neck, releasing your neck and upper back tension. But also, it's believed that it helps with communication between the brain and the spine. Let's do this one more time on each side. So know that every time you join me every week, it may be a different form of exercise, and that's okay, because I want you to get comfortable with new forms. All right, so now we're going to try going to a practice called fragrance Qigong. And fragrance Qigong is because it releases the toxins from your body. This is, again, 3,000-year-old practice. And over time, they say your body has this kind of fragrance. So let's get started with fragrance Qigong. And it's about 13 exercises repeated about 15 to 20 times. So we have about 20 minutes. Let's see what we can do. So the original form is called open and close. So I'm going to open and close. And what this is doing is really to give you a felt sense of energy. So move your arms as you like, but imagine that you could sense this chi, this life force around you. It may help to just brush your hands to build up some of this electricity or energy, and now try this and see if it feels different. So we're opening and closing. All right. Our next exercise is called Golden Dragon, Wagging Tail. So we bring our palms in namaste, a greeting, a prayer form, and we move it like a fish moving in the sea, or like a dragon wagging its tails. Dragons are mythological creatures, are really revered in Chinese medicine and Chinese folklore, and they're seen as protectors over the world. So these exercises have great physiological benefits, but they also bring you in connection with the myth and the mystery around these practices that have been passed on from emperor to monk to teachers. Qigong was a practice that was really held in secret and really open to the world only a few hundred years ago. Golden dragon wagging its tail. Let's do this a few more times. And then the next exercise is called, we'll keep the same prayer form, but it's called Jade Phoenix Nodding Head. And so now we just turn. Again, the phoenix is such a powerful symbology in so many cultures, but it truly is to make rising from the ashes. And it's such a perfect exercise to think about this year and what it has been, and really what we've made of ourselves, and how resilient we've been, how strong we've been this year, and how we've overcome the odds. And so it is an honor to teach this practice to you the last day, my last working day of the year. This is also a great exercise for your wrists. It can help prevent carpal tunnel, as well as for the shoulders. Jade Phoenix, nodding head. Our next exercise is called wafting scents. So we're going to spread perfume. Imagine that we could spread perfume in the world. How would that look? Wafting scents. All right, let's bring this to a close. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands close, spread them, raise them, and spread them apart. So truly imagine that this is like a bird flying. So bring them in and make this your own. Make this fun. Bring fluidity into this, but imagine you're spreading this wonderful scent. The teacher that I learned from, Dr. Lim, Grandmaster, who lives in Malaysia, he says that over time, people start smelling jasmine. So that's why it's called fragrance Qigong, that your body lets out this wonderful scent, which smells like jasmine. It probably isn't, unless you've been taking a bath in jasmine, but you're wafting that wonderful scent. But I also equate it to just wafting whatever goodness you hold when you go into a room and you bring joy into the room, or you bring humor or calm, spreading that out. Let's do this a few more times. And the next exercise is called musical instrument. So we'll imagine we're playing a piano or strumming a stringed instrument. All right, musical instrument. I've been practicing Qigong for 5 years and only learned about this form this year, and I found it very whimsical, irreverent, but apparently it has tons of benefits as well, because it's great because we don't move our fingers enough. I mean, you move them on a keyboard, but if you play a musical instrument, it's great for your brain as well. So this does that kind of connection. It strengthens that kind of connection, but also all of the meridians and in the fingers too. So this is great for your organs and organ functioning as well. If you'd like, you could close your eyes. And when you do that, it allows you to go deeper into the exercise. And this is so simple, you don't have to look at me. Just make this your own. Imagine if we played an instrument, how it would be played if no one was watching, if we were just playing it for ourselves. Musical instrument. To this, we will move to our next exercise, which is called separating food and water. And what it means is basically some kind of distillation, that you keep the essence of what is good. A lot comes our way, but how can you hold on to what is good and let go of the rest? And we'll hold on to what benefits you and benefits the whole, and let go of the rest. So it's a simple exercise, which we'll move into next, separating food and water. All right, so this is truly as simple as opening it. My palms are facing down. So with the other one, the palms are facing up. This exercise can also, these exercises can get tiring after a while, right? For the shoulders and the arms. And so if you want to take a break, feel free. Separating food and water. My teacher also talked about how this is, a reminder perhaps to keep boundaries as we think about work and life and transitions, keeping things separate so you can have transitions built into your day. All right, maybe 5 more times, and we will move to our next exercise, which is called wind moving lotus leaves. Now, these are ancient names, and they're very, I think, symbolic, metaphoric almost. But know that every exercise, the reason these exercises have continued for thousands of years is because they have tremendous health benefit. All right, so wind moving lotus leaf. So bring your hands maybe about 8 to 12 inches apart. And imagine you're holding a ball of light. You may feel a warmth in your palms. Close your eyes. And now move this from side to side. Wind moving lotus leaves. If you want to make it more dynamic, you can really bend your knees as you move, or you can just stay steady. Really, it's up to you how dynamic you want to make it. The heart meridian goes through the arms and ends in the fingers as well. This is a great exercise for your heart. Also releases the lower back and strengthens your arms. And if you can remember to take deep belly breaths through this, inhaling deep into your belly and exhaling either through your nose or through your mouth. The other very simple exercise that you can do any time in the day is really feeling your feet on the ground. I find it's immensely helpful because we are so much in our heads. And just a simple act of feeling your feet on the ground moves your energy down, moves any anxiety down as well. Wind moving lotus leaves. And now we're going to transition into making this movement clockwise. And so moving a clock. And slowly we will move to counterclockwise. If you were doing counterclockwise, you can do the opposite. But truly, you want to, when you do one side, you want to do the other. All right, and now counterclockwise. As often as you can, bring your attention into your belly, breathing into the belly, filling it up like a balloon and letting go. As often as you can during the day, taking deep breaths can help you stay calm and energized. And that itself is meditation. Not everyone has the time or the inclination to sit on a mat and meditate, but these simple practices can make you more mindful. All right, so the next exercise is called Universe in Motion. And you are going to move so both your palms are facing up, and you will move them from your lower dantian, your belly, just below your belly, to your chest. And it's a circular movement. It's called a Universe in Motion. And what you're doing here is that you're moving the kidney energy up into the heart, moving the heart energy down. And this is the balance of yin and yang, the balance of fire and water energy. Because even Ayurveda and Chinese medicine believe that there's this sort of gentle fire that burns in our bellies, in our hearts. And if it burns too much in one and not the other, then that's just, there's not enough balance. So this helps replenish your kidneys and reduce adrenal fatigue, and also moves heat or anxiety that's stored in your heart down. universe in motion. I forget to smile, and I'm looking in the inside. You know, if you can smile and do these exercises. I once went to Bali, and I met this medicine man, and I remember asking him, like, he does all these interesting diagnoses, and then he says, "You need to smile more often, looking in the mirror, and then swallow that smile." So if you can just look in the mirror in the morning and give yourself a bright smile, the kind of smile that you save for a loved one, and according to medicine man, then swallow that smile. Bring it into your organs. There are strange and ancient ways of the world, but you think about it, it does make a ton of sense. All right, our next exercise is called Domo in the boat, and you're rocking a baby. And close your eyes, and now just imagine you're holding a baby and rocking, putting the baby to sleep. And see how that makes you feel. It makes you feel relaxed. Letting go of what is to come, our 9 a.m. meeting, whatever the day has in store for us. And just in this moment, enjoy this rocking motion. And we'll move from this. If you want to stay with this rocking motion, stay with this. But then we'll move to a rowing motion. So we're going to row the boat. Imagine you're in the lake. It's a gorgeous day. It's a Saturday and we have Monday off. And you're rowing and you're looking around in this beautiful lake, looking at the birds, the flowers, the trees. Our minds are powerful and our imaginations are the most powerful thing we have. And so maybe just a little bit of imagination can move you from one state of being into another. All right. Rowing the boat. For our next exercise, we will cover our eyes with our hands like binoculars, and it's called golden rays, golden sun filtering. What is it called? Okay, let me read this. Golden rays filtering. This is really interesting. Entering eyes. Sorry, I have to read the names as my teacher has given me in the handout. It's an interesting one. Okay, so golden rays filtering eyes. This is supposed to be great for improving your vision. And if you want to take the analogy of being in a lake rowing, now you're looking into the distance, and what do you see? So maybe for a minute, have fun with it and see what you can see into the distance. And our next exercise, we're going to cover our ears the same way. And so it's called wind passing ears. Over time, this exercise is known to improve our hearing as well. And often when you cover your ears and you bring them down, you hear this kind of frequency, and this brings a strange sense of peace and silence. And we'll eventually be moving to our final exercise for prayer hands. Taking a few deep breaths here. And final pulling down heaven. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you all a very happy holiday season. It's a pleasure to teach you different forms because it forces me to learn them as well. Thank you again. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Good to see you.
Happy holidays to everyone.